There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to episode 20 of season 2 of Red Wings Rant, where tirades and impassioned pleas about your Detroit Red Wings have a home. That's right here. Right here. All right.
We're going to do some business.
Yeah.
Let's do some business. All right. It's not quite time for the madness. The macho madness. Yeah. That is college basketball. I'm much more excited about doing a Macho Man impression than this college basketball thing. But that doesn't mean the fun has to wait, man, because DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is giving all new players a chance to cash $100. My God, new customers can bet $1 on any team to hit a three-pointer in any basketball game this week, and if your team makes it, rain. If they make it Roman Reigns, yeah, you can cash $100. I'm going to see if I can bet my old alma mater, Eastern Michigan, to hit one three-pointer. Woohoo! That's right. All it takes is for one three-pointer to be hit by my team of the chosen jersey color in school to turn $1 into $100. Sounds like a no-brainer to me, man. The slam dunk of an offer won't be around forever. You can't just tomahawk your way to $100 forever, man. So head to the App Store now, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, and get all that action.
And if basketball isn't for you,
is there other sports?
Let's look around. DraftKings Sportsbook has daily odds on hockey, soccer, and
thank God.
More. DraftKings has paid out over $7 billion to its customers since 2012, so they know a thing or two about big paydays. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code THPN to get your shot to turn $1 into $100 when you bet on any team to hit a three-pointer in any basketball game this week. That's promo code THPN for new customers to get a shot at 100-1 odds on any basketball team to hit a three-point shot only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older, New Jersey, Indiana, Michigan, or Virginia only. New customers only. Restrictions apply. Winnings paid out in 4 $25 free bets. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in Indiana, 1-800-9-WITH-IT, or in Virginia, call 888-532-3500. Oh, boy. Mike?
That was the
Red Wings.
We're back, baby. We're back. Woo!
The winning streak is alive. Mike, you know I've been doing wet the beak for the streak. And last night I picked Coca-Cola because I forgot to do one. And I had a Coke right next to me.
Hey!
So I'm gonna help Coca-Cola.
See if they can pull through these hard times for Coca-Cola.
Hard
times, Daddy. When a Pepsi Cola kick you in the butt, you gotta hope man is drinking an ice cold red can of delicious brown sugar, baby. Get that dirty monkey butt Pepsi out of your system.
More Dusty, please.
Rest in peace, Dusty Rhodes.
Pour one out. Let me dump a little bit of coffee on the floor here. Speaking of coffee, Mike, I'm drinking out of my trusty Dusty Brothers of Discussion mug.
Yeah.
At bodpodcast.com. On the homepage, just go ahead and click the shop button. You can get one of these cool mugs. We have our Red Wings Rant mugs. I just ordered mine because, Mike, I love the ad I made so much this week for our Brothers of Discussion episode. I was like, I need another mug for Red Wings Rant. So that mug's on the way.
Yeah.
But you could get so much more. We've got a Red Wings Rant sweatshirts, T-shirts. We've got masks. We know that we're still going to be wearing those for the rest of our lives. There's that. Just bodpodcast.com, and on the homepage, just click shop. The other URL is it's too long. Just do what I said. That's the best way to do it. But also check out our Twitter. We're at BOD Hockey. We're going live during hockey games. And we have our Instagram, which is blowing up this morning, Mike. I had some fun last night watching Anthony Mantha eat his mouth guard, which was pretty fun, and which I thought was really funny. We got a beautiful picture of happy boy Luke Glendening after his 3-point night, first of his career. I just saw posted by the Detroit Red Wings on Twitter.
Now, lest we forget who I said should be on the power play. It was Mr. Glendening. I think he was a little inspired by the Red Wings rant, and he's like, "Yeah, this one's for Mike." Bang! I know it was on a 5-on-5, but I'm just saying, I think he was inspired to start putting pucks in nets. We dominated the faceoffs in this past game too, baby. And you know who was a culprit of that? My boy Luke. Woo! And now just ignore the fact that on Mantha's, we'll call that a man's man goal. That was a real aged whiskey pour goal. He did. He definitely looked at Glendening coming down the other side and said, "Nah, I got this." But he was right there. Okay, we don't know he would have missed the net on that one, but he already had a goal, right? He already contributed face-off wins, and he had the goalie thinking Glendening's not going to get 2. I'm not letting Glendening get 2 goals. Just go ahead, Mantha. Jesus Christ, right over the right shoulder. So I think Glenn, MVP of this season. He's the Brock Lesnar of the Red Wings.
Well, let's see if I actually was trying to cue this up. I'm gonna see if we can get in trouble again with YouTube.
Do we have Luke's mom and dad on the line? Because we want to thank them for making a beautiful son.
Actually, I was going to show that Mantha goal that you said was a beaut.
Or he turned off, or he turned away from Luke. Yeah, there you go. Actually, we got to back it up like one more second.
So, yeah. So, I tweeted out immediately. I did the old Lord of the Rings, King Theoden. I know your face. That was Anthony Mantha. That was the boy we, last week or our last episode, we just talked, his numbers are down from a production standpoint, but if anything, he's getting more chances than he'd be getting in previous seasons. So, right. I mean, there's 2 ways to look at that. You just go, all right, the luck will turn around, or, that's where you say, well, thank God Yzerman only gave him $5 million and not the $7 million we were predicting because he can't finish anymore. So 1 game from that conversation, we have this beauty of a shot that just looks like Anthony Mantha's been putting in 2 of these every night. Even though, I mean, he only put in 1. That just looks so calm and natural. And, there was another shot that came up this morning. I think I could pull this up and not get it taken down by YouTube. But this one is just, this is everything about what that game last night did for this team. And I said that this photo should come preloaded with the Full House theme song because it's just, look at that. Look at those happy boys. Look at Fabry. Stetcher rolling in. Stetcher rolling in. Glendening looks like he's making some crack about Stetcher. He's leaning over to Mantha. Mantha's just a little giggle pants. Fabry, he just looks like a schoolboy. Nemeth, he's Nemething it up. He's just kind of not really there. He looks like he's looking through Stetcher right now. I don't know what he's looking at, but everybody else is just super happy, especially Stetcher. I wish we could see his face.
That's Glendening in the middle, right?
Yeah.
Why does he look like Judas in the Last Supper painting?
Yeah, he's leaning over to Mantha, all right, I'll get behind him and you push. I don't know what's going on there. But the point being, winning, scoring goals, God, it cures everything. I couldn't have been happier to watch that third period. I know it ended up being 4-2, but then, you're looking at that 3-0 lead and kind of looking at Bernier playing his nuts off. I was making the cracks before the game. The Wings were definitely going to win, just to continue the bad luck streak for Thomas Grimes. Bernier comes back and we were going to win. But
we got 4 goals. That's our peak. That's about as good as we can do.
Yeah, so we've got a 4-1 win and a 4-2 win in our last 4 games.
It's another pitch by me where it's one thing I wish hockey would do a little bit more of. I want a camera all the way back so we can watch plays develop. But then I also want more close-ups because I wanted to see poor Grice when goal number 4 went in, and he's like, "Motherfucker." I get maybe 1 or 2. This is bullshit.
Here's Mike. The thing that is, I don't know how I want to put this, because you and I are pretty steadfast in our conversations about like, where is this team in regards to winning, making it to the playoffs. Nobody's really making the argument that this is a playoff team, but
except for Mark Thunderstall. Let's not forget him.
Right. Our last 4 games, we could even go back to a 5th game. And throw in the Tampa Bay Lightning. So we hand, in those last 5 games, we hand the Panthers their first regulation loss. So if anybody wants to make the argument, it's just the Panthers, give them their first regulation loss. Mike, we allowed 3 goals against the Lightning. That's
against the Lightning? Yeah, I watched that buzzsaw last night. Good Lord. Go ahead.
Well, yeah, so 3 goals against the Lightning, then 1 against the Panthers in that 4-1 win. Then 2, we go down 2-1. Predators beat us 3-2, and then we beat the Predators 4-2. Now, you just go back to those last 4 games. Easy math right there, 2 goals against. But even if you throw in that Lightning game, the last 5 games, it's less than 3 goals against every game. Mike, you know why that's happening? You know why the defense looks good?
Do we have an identity?
I think we do.
Is it because of Big Thunder?
Because of what?
I'm going to keep Big Thunder. Sorry, that's what we're calling Mark Stahl. At least he's got his Thor beard going. Go ahead.
You got to throw it out. Some credit to Max Boltman, who put out the article like a week ago, and then he shared it all week of the Red Wings having their new defensive identity. But, I mean, it's also what we've been talking about all season. So I just, because you used the word identity, I couldn't not throw out, because I've read the article twice now by Max. So shout out to Max, who doesn't need it. Yeah. But we've been talking about it all season. Like, this is the strategy, the low event strategy that the Red Wings have been using, and that we have been applauding Mr. Should I say it? Should I say it?
Do it.
I'm going to say it. Mr. Jeff Blashill. Oh, no. Oh, my God, I said it. Mike, these games.
But we have to fire up because he put Filppula on the team. Boo! Okay, but Filppula did have a good play yesterday. I want to. Yeah.
He did.
That was a beautiful. Yeah.
I said he looked like 20-year-old Filppula again. That was great, and a great finish by Fabry.
Yeah, I'm so happy he didn't just pound one at the leg pads.
He is one to miss empty nets, so I think it would he'd have to have an empty spot to throw the puck.
Just sort of bang it off the backboards.
Come around for the wraparound, and he's actually throwing it out of the zone. He just comes in with too much momentum. So here's what we've been talking. I mean, that second period against the Nashville Predators on 5-on-5, we ended that period with a point. This is off the top of my head, so forgive me if I'm wrong, but it was 0.68 expected goals for the Wingdings. Not an extremely high number. But here's how you beat the Predators, Mike. They had a 0.1 expected goals for that second period. Now, if you take a look at this whole game, we actually we didn't destroy an expected goals. What we did is we had such a huge lead. We actually, for the first time this season, could play back. We could give them the third period because we had a huge lead. Now, I hate that mentality in hockey, and I think that makes hockey the worst. That's why people don't like hockey. There aren't blowouts. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but you're not building stars with a 3-2, 4-2 game. You're building superstars in the end. This is a whole nother conversation. Sorry I need to go back to where my point was going, but that is a problem.
Bring it home, Matt. Bring it home.
That's a problem with the NHL. But to continue my original point,
Matt basically said he wants no goalies. Got it.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Sorry, Grace.
We'd lose 32-19 most games, Matt. So I don't know if you really want that.
It's a point to celebrate, right? Like that we were able to take a step back and play that defensive game that every NHL team does in the third period when they have a big lead. Is they say, they pump the brakes, they let go of the accelerator, and the game gets close. It's just that is the identity of the NHL. there's two ways to look at that. You're building closer hockey games and they're more competitive by the end of the third period, or nobody has a chance to turn into Wayne Gretzky / Mario Lemieux because they don't hit the accelerator all the way for 60 minutes. Any hoozles, right? I digress. So back to the original point, but sort of a victory cigar in a sense, right? When you get to actually play that, you pull back, you play the let's go net front, let's block those shots, let's get from forward position, put a defender between him and the net, and you're bringing everybody back. You're losing those breakaway shots. All of that rolls into you are pulling back, you're letting go of the accelerator. But terming that, Red Wings get to play a human victory cigar, or I'm calling it the human victory cigar. But falling those skaters back is that victory cigar in a sense. All right. I totally ruined my point by bitching. But I think I came back around. Like main point, the expected goals for wasn't a complete blowout because we got to pull out the victory cigar, let go of the accelerator, and Predators come back. But this was complete domination because of that second period.
Yeah, I mean, just the recipe. I didn't realize the previous Predator game we had no Glendening, and then he comes back, and then it's just a wildly different. Like we lost the face-off battle. I think it was like 60-40 the previous game. Then Glendening comes back. We went at 59-42, and my boy gets a goal and 2 assists. And he's just all over the ice.
You ready for a fun stat for Luke
I want
Glendening?
it. Hit me.
First in the league in offensive zone faceoffs.
Wow.
Yeah, they shared that last night, and I
put him on the power play.
First in the league in offensive zone, second in the league in neutral zone, and 10th in the league in defensive zone. Mike, we were talking at the beginning of the season how important it is for us to win faceoffs, and yeah. Luke doesn't play a game, we lose, and it adds up because if you're going to play this low event strategy, you got to have your best defensive zone face-off guy in the game. But yeah, I'm sorry, I thought I wanted to add that cherry on top to your point of what a great.
Well, it's such because most of the night wasn't it Mantha, Glendening, and Fabry.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's old Blashill,
Well, Glendening with Ernie, I can pull up
because I saw they kind of did they flip once?
Yeah. So what's going on is he had some issues with it's just line changing. I shouldn't call it an issue, but I'll pull up these lines here in a second as soon as the website wants to load up. You've got Adam Ernie, Luke Glendening, and Nielsen, Mantha Fabry and Bobby Ryan, Brome, Larkin, and Zadina.
Zadina was really good too.
By the end of the game, you had Fabry, Glendening, and Mantha on the line.
That's pretty close to my power play. All I'm missing is my my Dennis Chalowski taxi call up, and then we know that Jeff is secretly listening to the show because I know he likes that. Who's that Pokemon segment?
He's over. He's actually playing with GR right now. He's playing with the Griffs. So we got to call him up to the taxi squad.
He was on there for a hot minute.
Okay. He was. Yeah. No, it's because they just started. They just started last week. But I mean, that's a simple. I mean, if you're on the Griffins, you're a phone call away from being on the taxi squad. I'm not. You know what? We should look that up because I'm not sure if you do have to go through waivers to hit the taxi squad if you're in Grand Rapids. Because if it was Nielsen going to the taxi squad, we all know he has to hit waivers. If anybody's listening and knows the answer to this, I see a couple of eyeballs on the show right now. If somebody's coming up from the minors, do they have to go through some sort of waiver to get to the taxi squad? Is it like they have to be put on the Red Wings and then move down to the taxi squad, or can you go from minors to taxi squad? I'm gonna look that up.
It looks like they are subject to waiver rules
if they come up from the minors.
I mean, we don't want to research this during the show, but it looks like there's some sort of waiver rule. And then I have to think there's also some sort of COVID protocol if you're going to hot potato from one to the other. So it's probably just a bother.
This is the problem, Mike, is that they don't have this in NHL 21. So how the hell am I going to know how this rule works?
NHL simulator my ass. Where's my squad?
I like the idea that next year NHL 21 is going to have COVID mode where you play a 56 game season and randomly players get COVID and you got to pull them out and try and win with 10 guys on the ice.
Oh man, bubble play.
Yeah,
randomly, one of your seasons, the whole thing just crashes in March, and then you got to come back 5 months later and win a bubble tournament to get in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, and like the morale play, like it's on the hockey game. I know it's in the basketball game that you like. Like that would be crazy to do. You have to set up like like team building exercises so that they're still like having a good time. Make sure that you're buying like video games for the hotels so that they have activities to do at night.
There's no way that the franchise mode injury algorithm could also handle COVID. Like when you sign your hot free agent, make a big trade, and then they break their ankle on a day off. Like, come on, there wasn't even a game. And then half the teams got COVID. There's no way a video game could handle that. It's too much. I don't know. I know it would be weird. Like it would be sort of dark to bring that up, but I think I play the board game Pandemic. So it's not like, that's not inherently dark, right? You're basically trying to stop the planet from being destroyed by a disease or a pandemic. You just call it pandemic mode. Well,
and
maybe
it'll
just be a different game, right? Instead of, remember for a while they had not just like Madden, but you could get like NFL, it was like GM video game. Yeah. And you didn't actually play any games. So now you can do like, sports pandemic manager, and you got to get your team through a pandemic,
I do get ads all the time for, I don't know if it's EA, but I get one that the logo looks exactly like NHL 21, but it's for an NHL GM manager. But you never play a game. I do like simulating a whole season, Mike. I've been known to make it all the way to like 2040 in my in the franchise mode.
Yeah, I love franchise modes.
But I don't know if I could do it with no like playing the Stanley Cup. So I'll simulate all the way up till the Stanley Cup Finals. And then you got to play that. Let us know, everybody in the chat, if is this too dark, or would you actually be interested in an NHL video game or any sport video game that has a pandemic mode where you got to figure out randomly you're going to lose half your team, or you're missing games and you got to build up morale.
All right, I got one for you.
I think it's a good one.
Are you ready? I don't know if I can say it without laughing. Here we go. All right, I'm going to try and do some acting. Here we go. CDC. It's in the vaccine.
Oh my God.
Instead of EA Sports, it's in the game. Anyway,
COVID is in the vaccine.
COVID, it is a vaccine. We just
that's how they work, right?
I think. Yeah, you get just a like the good COVID. Yeah.
Good COVID. Oh, this is good. No, I say that. Everybody, get your vaccines. That is the.
I'm loosely paraphrasing Larry David when he was talking about. Yeah, you got like the good cancer. There's no good cancer, Larry. The one you don't die from. They all kill you, Larry. So there we go.
All right. Well, now that we've lost all of our listeners, what else do we have on the docket today, Mike? I think, long story short, we do have a nice little heat map that I wanted to show too. I know.
Heat map it up.
I don't know if you like me sharing these or you like how excited I get about heat maps, but either way, here it comes. So with this heat map, what I wanted to point out was that, Mike, this never gets too hot. And this goes along the lines of where the conversation was heading before with what a great job they did of completely eliminating a period. And I guess I never actually got that thought out, but the expected goals against for the Red Wings being 0.1 for an entire period is incredible. And it just goes to show that when you take away a full period and then we go ahead and take a look at the heat map, like you can see on the Red Wings side, the Red Wings side's on the left here, and there's some dark blues with some green scattered about. And those dark blues are where we're getting all those goals. You can see the little tiny G's if you guys are watching on YouTube, right in front of the net. For the Predators, they did get a couple of G's. Sound like such a douche. But nothing's too red. Like they never eliminating an entire period from a hockey game. Everything's just kind of like yellow. You get some orange, but nothing too red. And that is exactly the key where we were making those jokes before about Jeff Blashill being the reason why this game was a victory. Hey, you got to say it.
Yeah.
This is it. This is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when it works. Red Wings, I mean, you've got to just keep throwing the puck at the net. You can't obviously hope that Ernie and Glendening are going to keep scoring. But you had a couple of skill adjacent goals with Filppula, and of course Mantha, 1000%. Skill all the way. That's where that came from. But that's how we're gonna find victories. I don't know how else to put it.
I'm really fascinated here because we're getting all these, our boy Max Boltman, writing the pieces about defensive identity. You and I have talked about, like, for the Red Wings to win, I think they can win half their games if exactly 0 of their important players are injured or sick. And the other team's strategy is, not one that is about necessarily peppering in tons of goals and tons of offense. So the Predators, I don't put them as, one of the upper echelon offenses. But we're about to see Chicago, and they just wheel and deal, play reckless. That's what I remember from the 2 games, where we got our asses kicked. That's why I'm fascinated to see if this defensive identity is going to actually hold sway, because we know what Chicago wants to do. They will, just take risks, just get in our zone, even take penalties because they're not afraid of our power play, nor should they be. So this Blackhawks series, I know it's not like WrestleMania 2002 with The Rock and Hulk Hogan, but I'm very excited to see if it's actually true, if we're actually going to be able to, defend ourselves to victory in the Chicago series.
This might be the first time too, Mike, where the thought we've shared probably at least once over the while that we've been podcasting together. It was the old Green from the Minnesota Vikings, and I think at the time he was coaching the Arizona Cardinals, but he was smashing his podium saying they are who we thought they were. You remember that one? That was early 2000s, I think. I think we were still in high school. Yeah. Mike, the Blackhawks are not who we thought they were. Just in the regard, like, yes, they destroyed us, and who hasn't over the last couple of years?
Yeah.
But like you take a step away from those games, and Kevin Lankinen maybe got his numbers boosted a bit with those .968 save percentages against us. But he's still playing a pretty steady, like .925 save percentage and 2.49 goals against. And that was the thing where we were saying, if we have a shot against anybody this year, it's going to be against the Chicago Blackhawks because they don't know what's going on goaltending-wise. And then you take a look at Malcolm Subban, who's been just a complete roll of the dice, it feels like, since the start, getting those chances with the Vegas Golden Knights. And just to tell a quick little anecdote with that, you had the Knights in their first season couldn't keep a goaltender healthy, and Subban came in and played pretty well, and then he turned into dog crap. But so far this year, .913 save percentage, 293 goals against. You know what, Mike? He'd be the best goaltender on the Detroit Red Wings right now with those numbers. So that, Mike, mixed with your boy Patrick Kane having an MVP start to the season.
Oh yeah.
22 points in 16 games. Yeah, I mean, we could go down the list too. Like you were actually taking a look, and I guess we organically started previewing the Chicago Blackhawks series. Everyone, if you haven't caught on, so we've got those 2 games coming up.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mike, you were looking at Pius Suter, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of started the season, a little cold. And then, the perfect cold remedy, the old Red Wings came to town and got not just his first and second goal, he got a hat trick. Bang, bang, bang. And then after that, he went on another cold spell. But basically, he's been getting a goal or an assist his last 5 games. So, now that he's getting his confidence, he's got that winged wheel. He gets to see those jerseys one more time. I don't know if that means he's going to be, getting another hat trick, but it definitely feels like we kind of gave him that confidence. See that light, see that lamp light up. And I don't know. We haven't yet done super well against skilled teams. Even if they have, looking at Tampa, but that's just, they're going to kill everybody. But Chicago has skill, and I'm a little nervous because this is a light show. We're feeling positive after getting 4 goals last night.
Right.
So, Matt, is there any way? What is the formula for victory against Chicago? Because we are not going to outskill Patrick Kane, who's probably outscoring the top 3 or 4 Red Wings combined. What is the formula? We know it's going to be this defensive identity, but is that really going to get us a win at home against Chicago?
Right, and I was taking a look too at what we've done against the Blackhawks, and I guess I'm gonna not pull this up because it's just an Excel spreadsheet, but across the board on 5-on-5 play, it's been pretty even. They actually have the advantage, but it makes sense. We got blown out 2 straight games, but even from a possession standpoint, we're at 49%. So it's basically us. We were, we were taken to town. So like I said, you let off the accelerator, and that's how in game 1 we lost 4-1. We were able to kind of take the possession game against the Blackhawks there, but then it was game 2 where the Blackhawks did not let off the accelerator and put up 6 goals. But what I'm getting at here is that the 5-on-5 play is still pretty close. But what just happens to us, especially against the Blackhawks, and this will be the key to the game, and this is how I answer your question, is just you're not going to score on the power play. So the only way you're going to beat this team is to be the most responsible Red Wings team you've been all season. When we came into the season, we said our 2 easiest, or I guess our 8 easiest games are going to be against Chicago. Well, we saw that's not going to be the case, so I'm basing it off of those first 2 games. Maybe it's still laughable to be so scared of the Blackhawks, because really they only have 3 more wins than we do. If we split that series with them at the start of the year, we're right there. So I guess, long story short, it's always special teams. It's going to be special teams for the rest of the season. It's going to be special teams next season. And it was special teams last season, and it is for every team. You have to be somewhat competitive to really give yourself a shot. Otherwise, you're hoping to steal a period away from the Nashville Predators like we did in this last game, and then hope that Adam Ernie and Luke Glendening luck into one. So you can't hope for that every game. So what they just straight up have to do is play their most responsible game they've played. And it's going to be about play that 5-on-5, limit all the chances. The only problem is sometimes when you're limiting those chances against a team that's skating a little bit faster than you, that's where those penalties are going to come in. And Patrick Kane hasn't lost a step. And like we were talking with the young cats, I mean, DeBrincat's guy that we haven't even brought up yet, and he's scoring at a point per game pace. And you can't stop the excitement of a young Pius Suter either, or at least you can't just hope it's going to slow down organically. So all that being said, I'm not coming into this with as high a hopes as I did at the start of the season when this was our 3rd series coming in and we're 2-2, and I thought, man, if we can hold our own against Columbus and Carolina, we should destroy Chicago.
I think if you got a few extra bucks, this is a game to bet the Red Wings. At least game 1. But when we look at our formula, Matt, we can have 0 injuries. 0 to our best players. And this was a tide turner, this Blackhawks series, because we were almost, we were 500. We were going to start, maybe a little streak here. And then that's when Fabry and Zadina went down, arguably 2 of our most important offensive players. And as we're learning, Zadina is suddenly, now he's a defensive guy we can count on. And that Blackhawks series, we were missing both those guys because of health and safety protocol.
That's a great point.
Tentatively, no injuries. We remember that Blackhawks series. We had a lot of scoring opportunities, but it was like we didn't quite have the skill needed to actually finish a lot of those plays. We actually, dominated. We actually won. We never win the shot battle. We dominated we won that in the first game. We dominated in the face-off, of course. That's all we ever do. But we just didn't have the guns. And now Zadina and Fabry are going to play. And my boy Luke he's feeling hot after that Red Wing Rant promo. Manta's got his aged whiskey powers again. I think this is at least the first game, tentatively. And if Bernier's in net, because for some reason we like scoring for him, but not for poor Grice. This might be a game, Matt. We test the formula.
Is our adjustment to the formula or putting an asterisk on it?
This is a skilled team.
Zadina has to be involved. Is that the
Zadina 100%? I would never bet for the Red Wings with no Zadina at this point. I didn't know that this kid would be such an integral part of us getting a single point in the standings, but it looks like by God he is. So Zadina and Fabry. Yes.
I do like how the conversation on Zadina has certainly changed, and it's just because of how he's played. But the only thing we ever wanted to talk about was his shot, and then we saw him playing over in Europe, and we're like, oh my God, this shot we're going to destroy on the power play. And now everybody's like, well, no, he's a two-way forward, dummy. It's not just about that shot. So basically what I'm getting at there is now in hindsight, we're all sure.
Yeah. I'm going to be glued to my TV. I'm going to be fascinated to see how this turns out, because I remember all those scoring chances that we had against Chicago that we just couldn't quite finish. And now we're going to have 2 of our guys who can actually, score on the ice. I'm going to be glued to the TV. I can't wait.
Well, we should be, gosh, I was going to bring up a Zadina thing, but now it doesn't make sense. That was a good wrap up to the series, or the preview. But ultimately everything changes when Zadina's in the lineup. So I'll say this, everybody. Please go check out. Oh shoot! You know what? Give me a hot second here, Mike. Say something funny. Tell a funny anecdote.
Hey.
All right,
here's a good one.
Check out our Catfish on Ice podcast, everyone. They're our show for the Hockey Podcast Network that they're lucky enough to get our ad this week. We want you guys to go to @Catfish Ice to make sure you're not missing a thing. They are covering the Nashville Predators, so of course do them a favor since they were nice enough to hand us a win. Go ahead and hand them a listen. Again, that's Catfish on Ice podcast. You can find them all the same places you can find Red Wings Rant, and of course at HockeyPodNet you can find all the shows. So if you do want to get some in Nashville coverage for the Nashville Predators, you want to head over there. Those boys know their hockey. They're excited about it. Hopefully we'll be able to guest on their show, or they'll be able to come over soon. But that's Catfish on Ice podcast. Just had to throw that out there. Sorry, I wanted to make sure. I was just going to call them the Catfish podcast, of course, in reference to how the Nashville Predators copied us with our cephalopods, but. Whatever. What are you gonna do? You're gonna copy us.
It's a name I would definitely think twice about. Like, wait a minute, am I getting catfished here? And this is a curling podcast. You son of a bitch. All right. But is it time to? Are we playing some games already, Matt?
Oh my God! Yeah, hell yeah! Let's do it. Let's play.
Who's that? Yeah. All right. This is my favorite game. So basically what we get to do is cherry pick a quote out of context from head coach Jeff Blashill, read by friend of the show, Paul Woods, kind of. And then Matt has to guess who that quote is about. And that is Red Wings Who's That Pokemon. Matt, as always, you'll be guessing. And as usual, you can pick me or Paul Woods to read.
Do I have to say it still? Yeah. Paul
Yes,
Woods.
you do. Paul Woods. Hashtag Paul Woods. All right. Here we go, man. This is a short and sweet one.
Hashtag Paul Woods.
It's trending. All right. Hello there, Red Wings Rant. It's your old buddy Paul Woods here, and going to read a quote. And Matt, we're actually going off menu today.
Ooh.
Quote not coming from head coach Jeff Blashill. It's coming from elite Red Wings forward Adam Ernie. Here we go, Matt. If you're buckled in, this is the quote. Blank is a warrior. He comes to play every night, and he's a great teammate. So it's good to see those guys get rewarded. He said very condescendingly. End quote.
All right. This is Adam Ernie saying it.
Come on, Adam. Don't put it like that. So good to see guys like that. You know, usually it's guys like me peppering them in, you know, getting 3-4 points a night.
Oh, yeah. So I can either go, he's either being super sarcastic with the media, and he's like, it's good to see Mantha finally put one in. You know, you see those kids going out there, and all right. So it's got to be Glendening. That's the only person he's talking about. He's our warrior.
Matt, of course, it's Luke Glendening. He is a goddamn warrior. Any opportunity I can have to use him as quote of the week, we're going to use it. So, Matt, congratulations. Congratulations from friend of the show, Paul Woods. It's okay if we don't. Sometimes we don't. Do we have a Be the GM this week?
No. Ever since I made that awesome graphic for the start of the segment, I haven't been able to think of one because there's coaching decisions we could make as a group, but there hasn't been like what's the GM decision. And I guess maybe it could be like, Mike, if you were the GM, would you let Giovanni Smith and Matthias Brome have a hotel room, or would you keep them in the hotel lobby because they're on the taxi squad?
I would make them sit in an idle taxi. Hey, you're not the hotel squad. Get in the car. You heard that, man. Yeah.
There's a whole conversation.
No. Not the Uber. No, not the Uber with the mints and the guy with the screen in the back. Yeah. Some of them have that nice TV on the back, the headrest. No, you're in the cab. Get in the cab.
The last couple of cabs I've been in have at least the news rolling constantly. That's not the worst thing in the world. You can watch, you're watching TV. You're just watching text.
Every time I'm in a cab, I can't help but like turn into Rorschach, and the gutters are filled with blood and human waste. Like, I don't know what it is about those yellow cars. Yeah. All right. So I don't know. Are we ready to ride off into the sunset?
Yeah, let's do it. Got some.
We got to save the watch for the next episode. Damn it!
Oh, that's right. We still have the Scott Wheeler prospects to talk about. One of these days, we're just gonna run through the top 5, and we'll be done with it. We'll. I mean, we're not surprising anybody with that Scott Wheeler article, especially a month later. All right, check us out. At BOD Hockey on Twitter. BODpodcast.com/Red Wings Rant. I got the burpees. And go to bodpodcast.com, and on the homepage, click on shop, and you can get all that cool stuff I mentioned at the start of the show. But yeah, thanks for coming along, everybody. We'll see you on Wednesday Night Live, and new episodes on Thursday.
We'll come in.
Toodaloo.